Dr. Hlophe is also the first judge to have been removed from office. And that cannot be ignored. That cannot be ignored. A member cannot be impeached by this House and then be fit and proper to serve in this House.
There are so many less than capable members of the Democratic Alliance, some of which are serving in the executive now, who do not have any form of qualification or direction. Some of them are even deputized by people who are more qualified than them. It's just a group of white illiterates, semi-illiterates.
We can't allow, Speaker, a case whereby a party will want to bring subjective opinions on the appointment of Dr. Hlophe. Because if we're to follow subjective appointments, there are parties here in Parliament who voted against the abolishment of apartheid. Those parties are here in Parliament enjoying the fruits of democracy.
The people shall govern. This is a people's parliament. Al-Jamah supports the nomination. And if any judge wants to be a judge and asks the Honourable Hlophe to be recused himself, that person don't deserve to be on the bench. Thank you very much.
Order. EFF plus. Order, honourable members.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Speaker, it is true that the Constitution does not dictate and prescribe who a party may appoint to the JSC. But it is also true that we should be rational. It is also true that what the Honourable Shivambu said and what the Honourable member from the MKP said, that they did bring us a highly qualified person in the form of Dr. Hlophe. But what they do not mention is that Dr. Hlophe is also the first judge to have been removed from office. And that cannot be ignored. That cannot be ignored. And then we should be rational. Then we should protect the integrity of the judicial. Then we should protect the integrity of the judicial system. Then we should protect the separation of powers. And we should be rational with the conflict of apparent interest that there will be in the appointment of Dr. Hlophe in that position. We cannot support that, and there is a void in the Constitution with regards to this, and this should be addressed. A member cannot be impeached by this House and then be fit and proper to serve in this House. I thank you.
Order, honourable members. Thank you, honourable member. EFF, 4 minutes.
No, thank you very much, Speaker of the National Assembly. We, as the economic freedom fighters, fully support the appointment of Dr. John Hlophe as a representative of South Africa's 7th Parliament in the Judicial Services Commission. As a matter of principle is that anyone who is eligible to become a member of Parliament as per Section 47 of the Constitution can be delegated to whatever responsibility that all members of Parliament are eligible for. And that is the principle that we had sustained. There are so many less than capable members of the Democratic Alliance, some of which are serving in the executive now, who do not have any form of qualification or direction. We have not yet exposed their incapacity because they're eligible to be appointed even as executives. Some of them are even deputized by people who are more qualified than them. It's just a group of white illiterates, semi-illiterates that are presiding over government, because a certain section of society has given you that responsibility. We respect that. So let's respect the fact that a certain number of people in South Africa have voted for Mkhonto as a party and have designated Dr. Hlophe to become a member of parliament. So let's respect that. It's a matter of protocol, which we have always protected in the Chief Whips Forum, that whoever is designated by a political party must be respected. So we wish you well, Dr. Hlophe, in the Judicial Services Commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Other honorable members, ATM.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I think we need to remind this House that any member of Parliament can represent Parliament in any committee and in any body. There is nothing that precludes Dr. John Hlophe from representing Parliament. The National Assembly has always followed the principle of allowing parties to decide who gets to represent the party. What we are calling for as the ATM is that the National Assembly today must follow that principle, follow the Constitution, follow also the rules of Parliament. We can't allow, Speaker, a case whereby a party will want to bring subjective opinions on the appointment of Dr. Hlophe, because if we're to follow subjective appointments, there are parties here in Parliament who voted against the abolishment of Parliament, of apartheid. Those parties are here in Parliament enjoying the fruits of democracy. So, as the ATM, we fully support this nomination. Thank you.
Thank you. Al-Jamah.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the streets have spoken. They want the Honorable Sheikh Hlophe to serve on that commission. The people shall govern. This is a people's parliament. Al-Jamah supports the nomination. And if any judge wants to be a judge and asks the Honorable Hlophe to be recused himself, that person don't deserve to be on the bench. Thank you very much.
Order. Honorable members, NCC. Order. NCC. I'll now move to PAC. NCC, are you there? PAC? UAT?
Okay, thank you, Speaker. Kgotsong Afrika. As UAT, we believe that Judge Hlophe is a representative of our people, and with such suitable qualification, is the best suited for JC role. Judge Hlophe says Tembele Gwena Baba.
Order.
Brilliant. What do you guys think? The whole issue with the former Eastern Cape judge, who was kind of like convicted for certain crimes and all that, and having been nominated once more to serve on the Judicial Service Commission, is quite a tricky one. But anyway, I thought that I put together a really series of articles to help us really understand where this whole case is at the moment and really understand why it is a really important case for South Africa. Now, unsurprisingly, Freedom Under the Law, which has diligently worked to hold Hloppe accountable for alleged gross misconduct over the years, announced its intention to seek a High Court review to overturn the National Assembly's decision. Now, Freedom Under Law, alongside several other civil society organizations and legal experts, they actually contend that the National Assembly's endorsement of Hloppe's nomination is irrational, unconstitutional, and invalid, primarily because it is likely to erode public confidence in the judicial appointment processes. Okay? Now, there's no doubt that Hloppe's involvement, especially in the selection of judges, would probably further tarnish the reputation of the Judicial Service Commission, JSC, thereby undermining public confidence in the judicial appointment process and the judiciary as a whole. This situation may also deter political candidates for judicial positions or promotions from applying, fearing character assassination by a commissioner known for making severe but unsubstantiated allegations against fellow judges, including some of the most senior black judges in South Africa. It says that South Africa must not forget that the Judicial Conduct Tribunal's ruling, which found Hloppe guilty of gross misconduct and emphasized its duty to protect the integrity of the justices of the Constitutional Court, particularly Chief Justice Langa, Deputy Chief Justice Moseneke, Justice Nkambide, and also Justice Jafta, whose reputations were undermined by Hloppe's baseless and scurrilous attacks. Now, he says that these justices also acted honorably to uphold the institutional integrity of South Africa's republic, as a republic, South Africa's highest court. So anyway, this is an article by a law practitioner who really speaks about, this issue with Judge Hloppe serving at the Judicial Service Commission and arguing that, the whole thing with representing different ideologies on the Judicial Service Commission is actually something that is democratically, required in a democratic system where, regardless of how bitter and regardless of how erratic and unpredictable an ideology it might be, as long as a portion of the electorates actually vote for that ideology, it demands representation on the various organs of government. And the JSC in South Africa is one of those that require such representations. And now we see that the MK party has put forward together what Floyd Shivambu usually described as a Cambridge PhD holder, John Hloppe, to represent the views of the MK party on the JSC and actually push forward the agenda and the mandates of the voters of the MK party and what they represent, especially at the level of the GSC. But we know that this has angered the DA party, and I'm suspecting that the Freedom Front Plus, because their values are really in opposite directions and that they're unable to work together. So that's what we would have for this video. What do you guys think about this whole case with appointing John Hloppe on the Judicial Service Commission South Africa? Share your thoughts in the comments.